Hello, dear all. Here is my second round of thoughts for the elements of singing, and today I would like to pose a question and reflect on what is singing. And in my head now, I think about that things that will be engaged in order to sing will be moving, and some other things will compensate for that, will get maybe quieter or sometimes even tensed up. So my question towards you would be, when you start singing, or even when you start thinking about singing, what is the response of your body, and what is engaging, what is pre-engaging before starting singing? Just maybe try it out with some very simple tune. Before you even take that first breath, what changes in your body when you sit, let's say, on the chair and you just have a cup of tea? And that's one picture. And then in the next picture, it's you sitting on a chair with a cup of tea and thinking, I'm gonna just sing something in a moment. And what changes there? What is getting ready to sing? And then you possibly will notice that it's not just the area of throat and the vocal cords that are changing. You will notice that all sorts of different things are changing. Perhaps you start tensing your ribs to kind of get ready for taking a breath. Perhaps you're not sitting fully on your sitting bones. Maybe you're kind of just squashing a little bit and kind of narrowing your rib cage, torso. Perhaps you're doing something with your face. Perhaps you're doing something with your tongue, or maybe with your jaw. It will be similar to speaking as well. So you may as well experiment with what's happening when you want to say something, especially if you want to say something that is important for you in a discussion. What's happening just before? And I'm sure in many different ways, but you will all agree with me that it's your whole body that will be singing, and the reaction of your body is heavily influenced. It's actually just influenced, not just heavily, but just influenced by what is in your head at that moment. So the interesting thing would be to find out what thoughts you have just before singing, and whether these thoughts help you to get into that zero moment when you start singing, or whether your thoughts are such that make it more difficult to make a sound. So what would be easier and what would be more difficult? I think the thoughts that would be making it easier would be the thoughts that would create a sense of space, calm, openness, support, integrity. And the thoughts that would make it more difficult would be, I need to get it right. I won't get it right. I'm not sure I like my voice. I'm not sure I want to be heard. I'll have to make an effort to start singing, and so on and so on. So the little exploration for today is to see what moves, what opens up, and what tenses up when you start singing or just before that moment. And when you see that, if you agree to do that, then you can experiment with just kind of creating thoughts at the beginning that would make you would put you into that state of calmness, of openness, of kind of integrity, as I said, and support. Any thoughts that will work with you, try them, and then see whether your singing will be different. And when you sing, maybe have a sense of your whole body being an action of singing. So it's not just your throat, but having a sense of the connection between your head and your torso and your limbs, and as well have a sense of the space you're at. So it's not just your body, but obviously the environment around us. Like I'm in a small garden now, and it's quite beautiful here, and it makes me calm already. And because it's outdoors, I'm reminded of a space around me because there's a little breeze. I can hear some, bees, and there's a rays of sun coming through the garden, and it all kind of reminds me of being somewhere in some sort of context, not just being focused only on my person. So, to sum up, the challenge is to check what is singing inside us. So what is moving, what is tensing first, just seeing that, then checking what's happening in us just before we start to sing, and noticing which thoughts helps us to get into a state where it's easier to sing, and perhaps as well which thoughts we have that make it more difficult, the whole kind of matter of singing. And once you've done it, you can just play around with the, let's call them nice thoughts that make it easier, that connects you to yourself, that connects you to the space around you, and then sing a simple tune. Just see what's going to happen. So that would be all from me. This is my last day of the informal quarantine. Tomorrow we're going back to Bristol, which I'm very happy about, finally to get my space, and finally I will know where my things and baby things are. The warmest wishes to you all. I hope you have a lovely summer. Until the next time.